dumb. I'm a stupid citizen.
Yes, you are a big dummy.
All rise for Judge Joe Brown.
Whoa!
Experience, knowledge, and a passion for the truth.
I'm protecting womanhood and promoting manhood.
Bringing no-nonsense justice to Americans everywhere.
If you listen, you may learn something.
It's time for Judge Joe.
A couple's fighting sends one of them to jail and a complaining neighbor's car to impound. Grad student Samantha Fox is suing her former neighbor for towing fees. Defendant Justin Shaw says the plaintiff moved and abandoned her vehicle. Now it's Joe time.
Let's see, Ms. Fox, for, let's see, about 3 years, you and your boyfriend lived in one side of a duplex.
Yes, Judge
That
Brown.
was surrounded by a lot.
That's correct.
You eventually moved out. You received permission from the landlord to park your vehicle there.
That's right.
Your next-door neighbor was a young woman who turns out to be, or is purportedly, the girlfriend of the defendant.
That's right.
It appears that the defendant moved in with his girlfriend, and information from the landlord indicates that he was unaware of this, and the defendant's not listed as an authorized adult occupant, but nevertheless, he called and had your vehicle towed. How long were you there now? You give me your testimony.
I lived there for 3 years.
Is this your boyfriend?
Yes, this
you come
is
up here,
Elliot's
young
my
man.
boyfriend.
You two live there?
That's correct, along with my sister.
And sister. All right. Now, when did you move out?
We moved out the beginning of April. My lease is not up until August 1st. There was fighting that took place.
Okay,
and
I understand. I'll get there. So, in other words, when this happens, your lease was actively alive and in place, and you were a tenant. You just vacated physically the premises, but you were still an authorized tenant in the leasehold, and you were paying your rent. Yes? Okay.
That's correct.
So what happens with the vehicle?
Well, we had been checking on the car and, talking to the landlord about when we were going to move the car. I went to check on the car on May 18th, and the vehicle was not there. And I got a hold of the girls in the apartment, and I said, do you know where the car is? I called the landlord. I said, do you know where the car is? And no one knew where it was. So the next thing I knew to do was call the cops to report the car stolen. Mr. Shaw came outside and told me that he had my car towed. I asked him why he had the car towed. He said because he did not have place for his friends to park whenever they came over. There's a picture in the evidence of the lot. It's a large lot.
Let's look at it.
And the house up there, the trees kind of hiding
Party
it.
Central, I suppose. Not enough room?
Well, students also park there along with, the tenants in that building.
Aren't you a student?
I'm a grad student, yes, sir.
Grad student, yes. You're working on your MBA.
That's
Very
correct.
good.
And Mr. Shaw didn't have a vehicle, and neither did his girlfriend. And the girls that moved into the apartment, they only had one vehicle. And as you can tell, we just took this picture. No one is even parked even close to the...
Which one is the part that we're talking about?
It's the house right behind the tree there.
That one?
Yes, that is it.
Okay.
And I asked him if he would go get the car out from the tow company, and he told me that he wouldn't be in the situation that he was in if it wasn't for me.
My objection.
Oh, what situation are you talking about?
This has nothing.
Oh, that's because you called the police one evening when some things were going on around the place.
Right. I got woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
I object, sir. This has nothing to do with the situation.
Oh, yes, it does. May indicate that you had a motive to retaliate. Tell me about the incident leading to the alleged or purported arrest of the defendant.
Okay, there was a fighting and partying going on. I'd gotten woken up several nights in a row because I'm assuming they were coming home from the bar because it was 3 to 4 o'clock in the morning.
As a grad student dealing with a heavyweight subject like getting a master's of business administration, you have to work hard, study hard, need your sleep, and when it's time for recreation, you need no hassle.
That's on the weekend, and I do the same thing. I'm a student as well.
What are you studying?
I'm studying business management as long as it's paralegal as
Are
my
you
minor.
an undergrad or
I'm an
grad?
undergrad. I'm a junior this year, sir.
Well, there's a hell of a difference
There's a hell of a
between
difference, but
grad
it's the
school and
same
being an
situation. I still
undergrad.
go to school.
You work a lot harder in college than you did in high school, and you work about 5 times harder in grad school than you work as an undergrad.
But there's no school on a Saturday.
So what? When do you study? It ain't exactly like you can do it in 2 or 3 hours a day.
You can't do
If you
2
wanna
hours
get
at regular
some-
college work neither. And take care of a daughter and
Well,
go to
you
work.
party too much.
I don't party too much.
Well, you're talking over me, and that's not good.
Okay.
So I called the cops this night because I woke up at around 4 o'clock, and it sounded like they came in, but I'm not sure how they got in. But there was a lot of roughhousing or something going on over there, and Mr. Shaw got taken away that evening. He came, I'm not sure exactly when he got back. He moved out of the house. Everything was calm, and then he moved back in the house later on, a few weeks. The fighting started, the partying started. That's whenever I got fed up with it, because the cops really didn't do anything and the landlord wasn't doing anything, so I needed to go ahead and get myself somewhere else. So that's whenever we went ahead and moved out.
And you also allege in your complaint that one of the reasons you moved out was from the continuous loud arguments and yelling matches between the defendant and his girlfriend, who was your neighbor.
That's correct.
So let's see, we're talking $1,770 for towing and storage fees. Your invoice shows that the towing fees were $95, and because of your student status and lack of financial wherewithal, it has run 67 days at $25 a day for $1,675, totaling $1,770.
It is currently still in the car, and so...
I gather, because you are a broke student.
Yes.
We'll be right back with Judge Joe Brown.
How did you do something so damn dumb?
What do you mean dumb? I towed a car. Yeah, like I robbed a bank. That's dumb. Doing drugs is dumb. Selling drugs is dumb.
So
Towing a
why
car
did you
is not
have it
dumb.
towed?
Why I have it towed? Because it was there. It was in a spot that we needed.
The defendant says the plaintiff moved and left her car in a spot he needed. He feels totally justified in calling the police and having that vehicle towed away. Let's take a look.
Now, you have the floor.
My situation was, obviously she came prepared with the evidence with the pictures, but that parking lot that she showed on the picture is not
Good. That's called taking care of business.
It's not I'm not. I appreciate that. I'm fine. That's great. The parking lot is not our whole parking lot, and she knows that. That parking lot is not our whole parking lot. Where you have highlighted the area, that's where we can park. And we.
Well, look. Let me direct your attention to the issue you need to address. At the time the vehicle was towed, based on the records from the towing company, she still had a leasehold. She was entitled to be there. So you say that the parking lot is only for tenants that live there. Now, what is your contract or lease with this property anyway? You're not on one.
I did. Little she didn't know I did.
Are you on a lease?
Yes, I'm on a lease right now there.
Where?
There, at that property.
When did you get put on that lease?
After school let out, May 6th.
After school let out, which is after these events. So you had no standing. You were a judicious interloper who came in there and decided to stick your nose in somebody else's business, and you decided to determine she didn't live there, have any right to be there, and she was cluttering up the parking. Well, on her lease agreement with the landlord, the management, she's got a right to park there as the principal leaseholder, the principal tenant.
Oh, it all sounds good. I hear you.
Yeah, that's all it takes.
It all sounds good, but like I said,
what's the point about it sounds good?
It sounds good. Like my hearing, like sounds good.
So
the
what's
words
the
sound
point?
good, but the point is, I don't see how I would pay $1,700 for a vehicle that doesn't run nor work.
That's
because
correct.
you don't understand why. You don't understand.
I don't.
You don't understand why.
No, I don't.
How did you do something so damn dumb?
What do you mean dumb? I towed a car. Yeah, like I robbed a bank. That's dumb. Doing drugs is dumb. Selling drugs is dumb.
So why did you have it towed?
Why I have it towed? Because it was there. It was in a spot that we needed.
Who's we?
Me and my girlfriend, the girlfriend that lived at the house. We moved
For
the
what
spot.
purpose?
She does have a car now.
You sound like you engaged in reckless activity, totally oblivious, reckless to the contractual relationship between the plaintiff and the landlord, the management, the property holder in question, and recklessly you acted on some misbegotten idea you had that there is no basis in law for you having.
Misbegotten idea of
that means you're subject to punitive damages.
Misbegotten idea of towing a car. Towing a car is a misbegotten idea. Towing someone's car that's bothering you right there. So if you go outside right now and someone's car is parked in front of the Judge Joe Brown place and they and you get it towed, that's a misbegotten idea? Is it a misbegotten idea? Oh, I didn't think so.
It's a specious analogy.
Oh, it is, but it's an analogy you have to think about.
I don't have to think about it. So I tell you what, since you don't get the point and you still haven't gotten the idea of the error of your ways, we have 1,770 actual. Since there's been several days added on that since the calculation, I'm making it $2,200. Your jurisdictional maximum is $5,000. Therefore, that will be 2,800 punitive damages on top of that. Total recovery will be 5,000. That's how stupid you are, that you don't even know what you did to yourself.
This courtroom is now in recess.
Now, the plaintiff had an active lease. The defendant had an active motive to retaliate, a bad mix and a bad move to call for a tow. The plaintiff wins big.